Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. It's been a while since I've said that. I wasn't feeling well last week. I posted a picture with my home water bottle, and I basically explained that I was in so much pain and that I wasn't going to post a video. And I got a few messages and people asking me if I was okay, and I appreciate it. And some of you even asked what is endometriosis and all of that. And I decided today I'm going to film my endometriosis story. And I'm gonna be a bit vulnerable today. I'm really nervous to tell you guys my endometriosis story. It's something that I haven't owned myself yet. So basically, hopefully this will allow me to be more open about it, because myself, I don't talk about it often, just because I wouldn't say that I'm ashamed of having endometriosis. It's just not something that I'm completely comfortable with. So yeah, just a quick disclaimer: if you guys are very sensitive to period talk or woman talk or any talk like this, this won't probably be the video for you. You might not like this video, and yeah, so I won't get offended, trust me, but I feel like it's time that I tell you guys, because it is a huge part of my life. This is my truth, and that for you guys to better understand what I'm going through, and if it can help other girls or other women out there to be more open about it, or if you think you might have it, to just not be ashamed of having it, or not feel insecure about having it, and not to feel alone. Because I think with endometriosis you can feel alone. It can isolate you. It can make you feel like you're the only person that is going through it. So definitely I hope this video helps you a bit, and you can always contact me, DM me, whatever, any questions, anything. I will always answer truthfully. Basically with endometriosis, not everyone's story is the same. I know mine is very unusual to other women's stories that I've heard. Basically what endometriosis is, it is tissue that is found on the inside of your uterus that grows on the outside. So it will grow on your fallopian tubes, your ovaries, on your womb. Sometimes it attaches itself to your intestines, to other parts of your organs in your body. So basically it is a very serious illness, and yeah, it's something that people should definitely be aware of. Basically in the year 2017, I matriculated in 2016, and in the year 2017 I was going to take a gap year because I wasn't sure what I was going to study. So I was going to take a gap year, and I was going to au pair overseas. In order for this to happen, I needed to have a medical examination done. So I didn't go to the doctor for any specific reason. It was basically just for this medical examination to be done. Anyway, I went, and he came across my navel that was very swollen. It was very out. It was basically a nodule. He measured it, and it was 5 centimeters, and he basically thought he thought that it was endometriosis. He basically called it. He said it was endometriosis, and I was gobsmacked, obviously, because I don't know what endometriosis is. Yeah, I didn't know what endometriosis was. This was the first time I was hearing about endometriosis. I asked him to explain it to me, and that he went into detail, and I asked what the consequences of endometriosis are, like, yeah, what are the effects and that, and he told me that there basically isn't a cure for endometriosis. There are treatments that you can take that work best for your body, but there isn't a cure. And I was like, wow, how can there not be a cure for this? He told me that infertility and miscarriages are part of it as well. Now, I was very sad by this, obviously. I'm sure everyone knows that how much I want to have kids one day, and the thought of having a miscarriage or even being infertile, it breaks my heart all the time. Basically went home and I googled. By the way, Google is the worst, eh? Wow, Google's the worst. So I basically went on, I searched endometriosis, it gave me everything that I needed to know. I read up on endometriosis, everything. And I was basically like, oh my god, this illness is going to ruin me. Anyway, I did not have medical aid, so I couldn't go to a private hospital. So he gave me a referral letter to a public hospital. I went there, I had to see a surgeon. So basically the referral was to see a surgeon, and he was supposed to biopsy my navel and determine if it was endometriosis or not. When I saw him, he poked and prodded. He could feel a growth on my navel, but he said he did not want to open me up because he was not sure what he was going into. He said it was best that I first see a gynecologist. As I saw a gynecologist, I saw 4 gynecologists at this hospital, and they all poked and prodded on my belly. It made my belly so sore. When the visit was over, I just felt so sore. My belly was so sore because they basically press hard on your belly, because they actually have to feel around if you have any growths or what. So yeah, they said that it is endometriosis because they have seen patients that came in with the same thing as me and they wanted to put me on treatment. They did not say that I needed an operation. They said that the operation would be my last resort. So they wanted to try a bunch of treatments first. So they put me on the Depo-Provera shot, and I regret not doing my research on that injection, because that was the worst thing. Yeah, that was the worst. Basically, the Depo was supposed to stop my period. It's a birth control contraceptive injection, and it was basically supposed to stop my period, and then my growth wouldn't grow anymore or something. It was supposed to control the levels of estrogen that I was producing, so then my growth wouldn't be growing or something. I'm not good with words or explaining, apparently. So I regret not reading up on the injection, reading how it worked for other women. I regret not doing that. I should have. For every month, over 3 months, I was supposed to get one. I was on it, and then my symptoms just got worse after that injection. I was nauseous, I had headaches, and I was in so much pain. I was in a lot of pain. That was the one thing. I was always in pain. I was always bleeding, I was always in pain, and I was nauseous all the damn time. So I was thinking in my head clearly that this injection is not working for me. When we went back in a month, I had to go for an ultrasound, because the lady was supposed to tell me if she could pick up in any endometrial tissue inside, and she didn't want to do an internal examination because I was bleeding so much. So she basically just did one on my belly, and she said she couldn't pick up in any tissue, and I was like, what the hell, because clearly something is not right here. I mean, for real, I'm not having pain for nothing, I'm not bleeding for nothing. So she couldn't pick up anything on the scan. And when I saw the gynecologist later that day, I told him this time I saw a guy. So I told him that I was still in the pain that I was in. I was bleeding constantly and that, and they insisted that I still stay on the injection because I didn't give it enough time to work through my body, because normally it takes up to 6 months to work fully into your body. And I just went home and I was so upset because I was supposed to live with this pain for the next 6 months. Like, I was in pain constantly, and I just felt like no one understood how much pain I was in. I felt alone because I couldn't explain it to the people around me. I think that is when I became so isolated from everyone. But a couple of months went by and I was still bleeding. I always wore a pad. I didn't know what it was like to not wear a pad any longer because I was constantly wearing pads. I couldn't wear a tampon because it was so sore. It was very sore to put it in and to take it out. So I did not wear a tampon. A couple of months went by and my auntie suggested that I go to a gynecologist because he was very good and he has dealt with some patients with endometriosis, and that he was at a private hospital. And my mom was like, it's just a consultation, so if anything we'll just deal with whatever comes later on. So I decided that I'm going to go see this doctor, and my goodness, he is the nicest gynecologist that I've seen, like throughout the gynecologists I've seen at the hospital that I was at. But he was the nicest. He made me feel so comfortable. He was so open to all the questions that my mommy had about my illness, because I was just very isolated. But yeah, he made me feel so comfortable. He understood what I was going through. He tried to understand and explain the pain to my mommy, the best that he could understand. Like, he tried to explain it to them that this was a serious thing and I was not just pretending that this pain is making me mad or driving me insane. He decided he was going to do an internal examination. He actually thought it was quite stupid that the hospital that I was at did not give me an internal examination. When he did give me one, he could pick up the growth that I had on my navel. He recommended that I have a laparoscopy done. Basically, the only way to really determine if you have endometriosis is by a scan, and most of the time, half of the time, you can't pick it up on a scan, and a laparoscopy. He suggested that I have the Mirena inserted, and he said that would help, hopefully. He just told me that was the best solution that he could give me, and he said that I should trust him, and I put all my trust in him. I trusted him to do my operation, and it was one of the best decisions. Yeah. So in January of last year, I had my first laparoscopy surgery for endometriosis, and he removed my growth, and I had the Mirena inserted. And the operation was successful. When the doctor updated my mom, he told my mom that I did not have a navel any longer. And yeah, that was something that I just heard and I forgot about. I realized that I actually didn't have a navel when my mommy was taking off my dressing, like a week later, when I was able to take off my dressing, and I was left with a scar and no navel. At first I was very insecure about it. Now it's just become a part of who I am, and yeah, so I'm going to show you. So basically this is my navel. You can see it's a bit swollen around this area. That is scar tissue. This is scar tissue from the operation. That is still there. This is side view. So you can see I still have a bit of underbelly. It swells up around this area here. At the bottom you can see. He removed the growth, but there was scar tissue that grew into the stitches. The Mirena was working well for me. I didn't get a period, and that when I went back in a month, he gave me my histology report. And sorry, but this is my navel that they took out. So yeah, you can actually see there the endometriosis tissue along this area as well. This is the outside of my navel. That is how it looked. So you can see it was like a whole black area here. I was fine for 2-3 months, and I guess we went back in 6 months after my 1 month checkup. I went back and we found that I had a cyst that was going on my womb, and this was hard for me because after I had my first laparoscopy, I really thought that it would take a while, because so much women's stories that I've read, it takes like 1 or 2 or 3 years for it to come back. So I wasn't prepared after 6 months for my endo to be back. I wasn't prepared for it. So I had I think it was a 3 centimeter cyst on my womb that was back, and I just felt like, I wouldn't say I was upset with my doctor. I was just very confused, because I was wondering, did he not maybe see more endo tissue inside of me? I just couldn't get away from endo, basically. And he said that, oh, we could have another operation. Yeah, he basically said we could have another operation and he could remove it again. And we didn't have the money. I wasn't on medical aid. My mommy paid out of her pocket. My family paid out of their pockets for the first surgery. So obviously this time I wasn't expecting him to do it again. I was just it was only 3 centimeters. It wasn't that big. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to live with it for now. We don't have the money. I wasn't going to make my mommy pay that amount of money. And basically my mommy just said that we should get me on medical aid as soon as possible. We managed to get me on medical aid, but there is a 12-month waiting period. So obviously I have to wait till next year, 2020. After that I was getting so much pain in that, and I told my mommy that maybe we should go and see my gynecologist again, just to see if maybe the cyst had ruptured or if it did disappear. And this time he picked up another cyst. So now not only did I have 1 cyst, I had 2 cysts on my womb, and this was just so freaking upsetting. It was very hard for me to process. I'm still trying to process it to this day. Suggested that we have the operation. Again, he said that I obviously need to have this operation because the cysts aren't going to just disappear. I was basically just going to put up with the pain, and I haven't been to my gynecologist since. The pain that I've been dealing with for the past couple of months to this day is so bad. I'm actually scared to go back to him now because I just feel like it's so bad because I can feel. It's like you're bleeding internally. Like I feel like I'm bleeding internally. Like I'm constantly in pain. My belly swells up so much all the time. I have to lay with a warm water bottle. Some days I'm so sore, like I don't want to, like I can't get up. Whether I'm sitting on the couch or whether I'm laying in bed, I can't get up to even go to the bathroom because as soon as I get up, my belly aches. And there are girls that are younger than me that have endometriosis. I wouldn't wish this pain among my worst enemy, on my worst enemy. The pain just constantly stays. And I was talking to a friend over the weekend. I was talking to a friend, and the person asked me how I was doing, and I said I'm actually scared of the pain. Like the pain is actually traumatizing to me. And I didn't expect myself to say that, to be scared of pain. Because all I can do is to pass the pain is just sit with a water bottle. Like I'm sorry for getting emotional. I'm sorry for getting emotional. It's just hard. It's hard on everyone around me. My mommy, because she doesn't know how to help me. She constantly asks, do you want to go to hospital? Do you want to go to hospital? And I all the time say no. And I know what is happening inside of my body. I know what needs to be done. I know I need to have an operation. So I just sit in pain all the time. I just sit in pain. And no one understands the pain that you're in. And it's hard things I have to explain to your family when they ask you. And some of them don't even ask. Some of them walk on eggshells around you because they either don't want to ask you, or they're scared they're going to upset you. Like my sister tells my mommy constantly, I don't like seeing her in this type of pain, and I swear that breaks my heart. Because for my sister, I'm supposed to be someone that she looks up to. I'm supposed to be this strong and independent person. Even my mommy, I don't know what I did to deserve my mommy sometimes, because I can be so mean to her at times. But she always manages to lift my spirits and tells me and encourages me not to give up. Endometriosis is hard on relationships, and I'm not ashamed to say that it broke me. It definitely stole a part of me that I don't think I could ever get back. I used to feel so differently towards life, but right now, this past couple of years have just been very, very hard for me to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It does have a certain power or a certain strongness to say that I am 1 in 10 women that suffer from this illness. It's scary that only 1 in 10 people suffer from this illness and not people know nothing about it. It makes me upset. People don't bother to understand it. All I can say is you just have to be there for the people that are going through this. I've been at the lowest of lows because of my endometriosis. It is the loneliest to feel like no one understands what you're going through. So always be there for them, always support them, always encourage them, always check up on them, always make sure they are doing okay, always make sure they are fed, always make sure that they have their warm water bottle, always make sure that they go out for a walk in the sun, because the sun does wonders for your body. I'm constantly reminded of how strong I am, and everyone is strong. Everyone is strong, I believe. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I covered everything that I wanted to say. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Comment down below video suggestions. Yes, comment down below your video suggestions for me. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.